As I was discussing last time about lust, I was saying that because lust is something that when I continue to talk about the topic in last time, and today we'll continue about lust. And for Christian, we are also have the same thing that even after when you have been born again, you shall actually avoid lust, even if because lust is like disease, is a sin, is disease. It is like a cancer in a very early age. It is a sin because according to James chapter 1 verse 1 to 6, but every man is tempted. James James chapter 1 verse 14 to 16. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and the infanticide. Then when lust has conceived, it brings forth sin. And the sin, when it's finished, brings forth death. Do not err, my brothers, my beloved brethren. This is King James version of the Bible. Is very difficult English, but anyway, it is talking about the sin in a very lust is seen it at a very early age. It's like a cancer at a very early age. It has to be fought when it is very, 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 very. It grows. It brings forth advancing. So, but then when sin is finished, or when sin is ripen, in somehow we say that is ripen, that's a good word. In other English maybe you can find it. In my Swahili English we say it is ripen. It produces death, or it is some kind of spiritual death or death. So this is why lust is something that you should, like when you say that we should avoid cancer, because we must do everything to make sure that we don't get cancer. And when you go to doctor and the doctor tell you that now you have been diagnosed with cancer, maybe stage 1, at that very early age you started to work to get cancer out. The same way with lust, at a very early age you must work to get out of your body at a very, very early age, because when it is ripened, it will give, when it give birth, it can give birth to sin, which is more harder to heal, and this sin can give death. So this is how we must, as a Christian, we must always try to fight lust at a very, very well. How can you fight? How can you fight sin? Maybe say, how do you? Maybe say, now I'm working to fight that I don't get cancer. What do? The first thing, you avoid everything that can bring you into have possibility to give you cancer. To eat this, you avoid food that can give you cancer. You avoid everything that can bring you to, maybe if you have been, some people have avoided to sit exposed to sun because they are afraid that they can get skin cancer at a very early age. But sometimes even if you avoid, you come a point you go to doctor and doctor tell you you have got cancer. But at that early age, you started to fight cancer. Cancer is not a good disease. So everything has to be treated very early. So sin is something about, it has to be treated at a very early age so that it does not give forth to, does not develop. I mean, how do you do this? That's just about to avoid lust. How do you avoid lust? How do you avoid lust? There is a lot of women, men who are handsome everywhere. You must just every time you must every time remind yourself that you are a child of God by prayers, by reminding yourself. Yeah, when you see someone is very, you avoid to bring you to focus so much on those people. It takes time to exercise this until you come into the and you pray, and every time, because I say that you must pray that God strengthen you from inside. And at the very early age of your salvation, it is not easy. You must fight, and you must avoid to fight so much. You must avoid the things that will bring you into that. For example, yeah, I remember when I was myself, I was born again in the first time. Really, I did not come for Facebook for 1 year. I did not come to social media for 1 year. That time I did not know. I was afraid of everything. I was just sitting, reading Bible and doing other stuff. But going out I was always going to church to meet my friends in church, and this is what I was always try to develop, and it was church, Bible, home. But then I found out that those things are also not enough, because the Bible also is talking about, even Jesus is saying about, there is two things that can actually destroy you, and these things you must be very aware at the very early age. Your eyes. Your eyes are the light of your body, and ears are the door of your body. These two things, eyes and ears, this is what Jesus is saying. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? So when he was talking about the eyes and ears. These two things are the very important things. Is that lamps, when you have a lamp must be as clean as possible, so that this lamp shall be able to think about. Just try to take a lamp and you put a lot of shit on it, put colors and a lot of things. You will see the kind of light that is coming from that lamp. It is not good. If the lamp, you cover the lamp with black color, that means that your the lamp, even if you turn on, it will be total darkness that is coming out. So when your eyes are dirty, it means that your whole body will be dirty. It means that if your eyes are clean, that is where this is where the strength you get from inside, because your eyes are clean. So the first things to always protect is your eyes. And the second thing you need to protect are your ears, because the ears are the doors of everything that comes inside your body. Because even if when when you are blind, but still you can use ears to hear. You understand? You can still use ears to hear. What you hear is very important for your for your for your for your salvation. The ears are the doors. The ears are the doors. The ears are the doors of your what you allow to get inside your body. You allow it through your ears. This is how it is going to. It comes from your ear. It go directly to your heart, and so it destroys you, or it can build you. Whatever you hear. So these two things are very important things that you should actually protect, even at the early age of your salvation. Eyes and ears. These are the things that Satan loves so much. And these are the things that Satan uses so much to destroy humanity. You will see that the whole world has been destroyed now. It is because Satan has been able to capture these two things, eyes and ears of people. Because now, even if it is very hard to tell people to make people to pay attention to the word of God, because their eyes are so dirty and their ears are full, so their body is full of rubbish inside of them, and all what they want, because it's like when something get into your ear, it get direct into your heart and it destroy everything. And music industry has been used by the devil in so many ways to pull people to hell. Music industry and television. Television. I cannot say that you don't never ever watch television, but think about what you are watching on television. Because these things are the things that the devil is using so much to destroy the humanity. And even those people who has sold their souls to the devil, they are working in those industry, and they have the mission to destroy the world by what they are doing. Everyone who is going to, when they go there, they register themselves there, they are being given the missions. You will see that the things are getting sour. Before I was born again, I remember I was at a Snoop Dogg concert here in Oslo Spectrum. I was watching that time it was because I was not it was that he was on his tower. It's called Get What Tower concert. It Get What Tower concert. Inside, uh, we were sitting there when we were watching. He came insulting languages, the striped girls, they were dancing, all those things, they were there. Of course I was there, and I thought it was, in those days, that was my mentality. It was like, oh, it was wonderful, to watch these girls. They were totally naked dancing, and I was saying it was wonderful those days. It is no longer wonderful for me any longer, because after when I woke up, and it was like everything that I started to turn upside down, and I don't see any longer it is entertainment for me any longer. Really, it was entertainment for me before. Watching watching other naked girl exposing their body, dancing, when a man is singing and is insulting and he's doing all those things, and so many things. All those things was just the things, but these are the things that the people of the world are so much occupied by. And this is why the word of God is no longer worth for them. Even if when you tell them, they don't want to listen. But another thing that is a television. You see that now to pose naked is a so very normal thing. And the more people they normalize it, it look like it's no longer, when it before, when people, it was a shame to see a girl or a woman is going naked. But now it is okay, and it is, when we came to the point now, we don't see any different any longer. But it was not like this before. So you can see that now, even in the church, everywhere. So these are the things we just try to avoid, and we are trying to fight, even in the church, in everywhere. That girls, we women, we shall try to not to push those agendas in the church, especially because we are trying to destroy the church. But these are the things you as a newborn again Christians, you should know they are the instruments of the devil that is trying to trap you into lust, so that when you fall into lust, you go into where it started to develop. So when you fight that lust at the very early age, this is when you can also be able to conquer other levels. When you entertain things like anything, this is how we say that. Bible is telling us that, what is the Bible saying? It is saying that when you say that when your eye I have saying that when your eye is dirty, your eyes is, your whole body is dirty, and you must make sure that put yourself into the right put your eyes where you should. The music industry is all about, for the first, singing those songs, insulting, seducing. It's all about lust. They are singing about lust like it's a very good thing, entertaining, and so much more. While the films, it's all, even now films is all about sex, about all those things. And when you sit the whole day, you are watching those things, you are picking evil things inside your eyes without even knowing. And at the end of the time, you end up like sin will not get, you cannot get rid of those things. This time I read it I learned from very early age, because in those days before I was born again, I was a, I was very high. Yes, I'm hippie. So I was some kind of very hippie, like a person who wanted to. I was a person who, first I was a person who wanted to try everything, to love it. I loved the world so much, and in those days, yeah, I loved music also. I was very big fan of musicians like Beyonce, like Rihanna, like all these kinds of musicians. But when after I learned about this, because I learned about this, I did not learn from, I learned it from, I watched a video of a woman who went to hell 24 hours and come back, and she saw people went to hell because of these things. I started to think about, what can I do? I must do something. I threw out everything of those CDs, music, because I have a lot. I was every time when Rihanna made a new song, I had to buy. I was buying CD. When J-Lo made a new song, I heard that somewhere, because those days it was not Spotify, it was CDs, and I was buy. So I had an album of every musician, and it was like when I sit home, so it was music all day. Truly, I mean that after when I threw away those songs, I went to the shop and I bought new CDs of worship songs and other things, because that time I started to learn myself to live as a, because after when I saw that film, it made me really think that I should be careful with whatever I'm doing. I just say that I will fight the good fight to win this, because this is so important. I started to listen, but I marked difference, because those days when I was listening to these songs, like they are just entertaining, but they have things they are putting inside your heart. And really, if you are, maybe there's someone you are missing, you will never forget that person, because it's like they keep reminding you all the time. Also, those days when I was born again, I was living my life, and I wanted to forget about everything, about the people. I wanted to forget about everything up in my past. But it was not sometimes easy to do that. But after when I threw those things, I started to listen to gospel music. The one thing I just discovered is that my heart was full of peace, and there was nothing about, these songs, they were just entertaining me. But at the end of the time, I end up depressed. I end up like sick, and I was so much depressed. I could not understand why. I feel good, and I feel like something is telling me in my heart that I should find someone, I should do something. But after when I started to listen to change to the new songs, it was like I after when I sing, it is both entertaining me, and it captured me so very fast, these songs, and I started to love this song. I remember the first song that it was. Come on, celebrate, giving God all the glory. He is worth our praise. Let's make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. All creation singing praises. That was the first song I learned from these CDs that I bought. It is called Celebrate from Oslo Gospel Choir. I truly loved this song, and every time when I listen, it just hit all my heart. And what I experienced is peace and joy after that. It says that I wish that I knew this from long time ago, because my only strongest desire was to start to live the life according to the will of God, so that I can actually come to heaven. And my whole desire was to seek God, and all my desire was to find Christ, and nothing else mattered for me any longer than that. When I meet my sisters in Christ, we were all talking about dreaming about the spiritual gifts. You understand that? We came to the point, so we started to think that I was feeling like, hey, someone has already started to speak in tongues, but I can't. Oh, how can I do this? So it like you become some kind of jealousy. But this is something that it bring me into more, it push me more into seeking the things of the spirit, and forget about the things of the world. So it was like pushing me to do more and more, to seek more and find more. In those days, those are the things that, but then films, do you understand these films when we watch? I decided myself, now I'm not going to watch film any longer. I'm not going to watch this. So, but where? Then I bought a satellite, and then I found a gospel channel. That gospel channel, it really boosted my faith for the first. These are the instruments that every Christian need. These are the things that well, first, this gospel channel, it is on satellite. It is, I can also lay a link to anyone who can go to that link and watch satellite, this gospel channel. I can put a link. It is also online, but I do not want it. I don't know. I do not like it to watch online. Sometimes when you watch online, it disappear. The connection can go, but maybe it is good now because I am not so very watching. But I was watching when you watch on, because now I moved from where I was living. I'm living on another place. This place I'm living, they are not. It is not allowed to have uh, satellite, so I don't have that gospel channel any longer. But I was watching before, and it was really the perfect choice for me. The first thing I learned, it was both music, songs, and the preachers. Every time after this preacher is another preacher, you are starting to follow these preachers, and these preachers has really helped me to boost my faith, both my faith, because the miracles that I was watching inside of that channel, it really boosted my faith. Because before, even if when after, I was thinking that sometimes I was wondering, is it true or not? But when I started to watch those miracles at Gospel Channel, I found out that these are the things that actually boosted my faith so much, because the miracles I started to experience about. There are some people, other things like porn or other things which are not healthy for your soul, and if you have it at home, it brings because every time I was feeling that the house was being filled with Holy Spirit. I feel that breeze is coming very cold around in the living room that is giving living peace inside your people's heart. And when you sit there watching and you are living inside the living room is filled with, you feel like you are in somewhere in heaven somehow. This is something that I really recommend the new Christians to do. When you are a new Christian, you are trying to find out how where you can hide your eyes, where you can bring your ears. These are the people, these are the tips I can give you to where to bring instead of doing nothing. If you feel like you can do nothing, you can sit alone and read the Bible. This is how you can avoid lust and protect your inner soul through by doing things which are making you happy, which you select your interest, because there are so many interests that can bring you joy that without sinning. If you want to select, make sure that you do right things. If you can go skiing, you can go skiing. If you wanted to play football, you can play football. If you wanted anything, you can do, but you must make sure that you do things which are right and at the right time. We all must select those things, because it is very important that we come into heaven, because hell is a very bad place and it's eternal. And if we can notice that I decide that I can say that I have decided that I just want to go to yeah. Some people say that I just wanted to live now and I don't care about tomorrow. Those things we need also to learn our children, because think about, you're in heaven and your children are crying in hell and you did not tell them about it. What kind of father, kind of mother are you? What kind of father are you? This is how we are fighting. This is why we are fighting. This is why we are fighting with people who love the things of this flesh, and they are hungry to teach to our children things that we cannot teach to our children, but they want us to make our children, because to love God is to hate the evil. And when you hate the evil, is everything that is evil. You must make sure that also you transfer it to your generations, your children, because God says that teach your children what is right. Teach your children about me, because even if when they come to the point when they become adolescent, some children they can depart from it, but they will come to the point they will remember and come back. But it shall not be you who has led them there. This is why we fight with people who are trying to ruin small kids by purpose. Those people, we say that they are corrupt. When they are trying to corrupt small kids, because they want, also maybe we have corrupt politicians. They bribe small kids with things which are not right, because some small kids in that generation they don't know so much, and they teach them to do things which are not right in the eyes of God. And this is why we must fight, and we fight them, because we cannot just let them ruin this generation, and we just sit and watch. You know, your children are very precious for you, and everyone see their kids as something so precious. And because of that, they have their own way and the rules that they have in their heart, both in your heart, from their God, and how they shall raise their kids, their children. and no one shall dominate that. No one shall decide for them how they shall raise their kids. You understand? It doesn't matter how you have been raised. You have been raised differently, but that does not mean that you need to give that kind of right to everyone, because everyone has their own rules of what is right and wrong. This is something that we should all have respect, and respect to everyone's right to raise their own kids. Um, stop